on this episode of Cumberland Rover. It's the final day of my tour of lakes and rivers in central Kentucky. With just a few hours remaining, I somehow managed to stumble into one final adventure that would actually become the most memorable part of the trip. Skipper, follow that goose.
Bring us coffee, tea, and rum. One day the tonguing is done, take our leave and go. At a fair in the sun of town, her hair was blonde and this was brown. She made a wellerman come around.
I recently accompanied my girlfriend to a 3-day yoga festival way back in the hills of Metcalfe County in central Kentucky. I was there mainly for moral and logistical support. It was Sydney's trip. But there happened to be several different rivers and lakes in the area. I just happened to have brought my 12-foot P-row along, so after dropping Sydney off at yoga camp each morning, I was free to roam while she frolicked with the hippies. On Friday, I got the lay of the land. Saturday was spent exploring Barren River Lake, and now on Sunday, the trip is nearing its end. But Sydney has to attend the final and most important event on the schedule, puppy yoga, and this means I have a few precious hours remaining for one last adventure. Since time is limited, I'm on the hunt for navigable waters nearby. My options are slim, but it's all brand new to me. There's Metcalfe County Lake, City Lake, and the Little Barren River. First stop, Little Barren River. Third day of the trip, I just dropped Sydney off at yoga camp again. Figure I'd stop and check out the Little Barren River here at Sulphur Well, and the water has come down a foot or two or three overnight. So, I'm kind of thinking about getting the P-row out and paddling upstream a little bit. She's still flowing pretty good, but the water was way up here, up to the grass yesterday. Got a bunch of wood that is washed up and ended up on this dam that must have blown down in the storm a couple nights ago. The current is about half the speed it had been yesterday, but still more than I care to paddle into. And I have no way to get back upriver if I head downstream, so I belay on to City Lake, which sounds suspiciously like a pond. As it turns out, it is a pond, and not much of one. It was only about 16 inches deep, overgrown with vegetation, and the water was brownish. Not a very inviting body of water. But my interest was not in the lake itself, but the natural creek feeding it. Satellite images seem to show a pretty substantial creek flowing into City Lake. It was concealed somewhere in this thick growth of cattails. Chances are the creek would be too overgrown or too shallow to traverse, but there was only one way to find out for sure. I noticed a lone goose loitering at the edge of the cattails. As I drift closer, I realized this could be the mouth of the creek. The goose doesn't seem bothered by my presence. It must be a city goose here on City Lake. Paddling ahead into the rushes, the goose keeps looking back at me, almost like it wants me to follow. Apparently, this goose is my guide. We travel deeper into the rushes, and the way begins to narrow. I round the bend to see this, a pretty good-sized beaver dam. My guide is floating on the beaver lake above, fishing for lunch. This is pretty cool and unexpected. The city goose, as my tour guide, has led me to a little beaver dam, and the creek just broadens out and continues through the cattails. Dam's pretty solid and I don't see any snakes, so up the dam to the beaver lake we go. I'm standing on top of the dam, just dragged the P-row up and over, and our goose friend, tour guide, has flown the coop. Goose has had enough. I guess it felt cornered finally. Or maybe it's just going to fish somewhere else. This is exactly what a P-row is for, and this is the kind of creek that you wouldn't even know it was here if you didn't come and look for yourself. You know, just looking at the satellite view on Google, I could have easily said, this is probably just a tiny little trickle, not likely to be enough water there even to float the P-row, but man, I'm glad I came back here. This is cool. Coming up to a wigwam, a beaver lodge. It's a big one too. Maybe the beaver is home. We're about to find out. As the creek enters the shady green woods, I begin to hear running water up ahead, which likely means it's about to get shallow, maybe too shallow to continue. Coming around the bend here, I was pretty sure this was going to be the end of good water, but man, these beavers have done a good job of keeping the creek navigable. Got plenty of good water still, thanks to this little dam. With City Goose leading the way, I had discovered a real hidden gem. I much preferred the clear, cold water of the creek and green rushes of the beaver bog to muddy old city lake. I guess there are 2 lessons learned here. Don't judge a book by its cover, and if a goose leads you into the cattails, follow it. That's a friendly puppy. Yeah, that's friendly. That's friendly. If you're intrigued by my 12-foot wooden P-row featured in this video, there's good news. You can build one of your own. Check out the plans linked in the description below. Also check out the build video. As demonstrated, the P-row is an excellent travel companion. The plans are only $10 and she can be built for under $200. Sail plan and rigging diagram are included in the plans. Thank you for your support, and thank you very much for watching.
Down the Ohio in the bluegrass land, set my skiff on Kentucky sand, swept away in the Louisville flood. Nothing left but Kentucky mud. Oh, Kentucky mud. Oh, Kentucky mud. Rocks in my fiddle and holes in my shoes. Gotta die for the bourbon booze, washed away in 37 flood. Nothing left but Kentucky mud. Oh, Kentucky mud. Kentucky mud.